Hello everyone, I'm Ken Harwood with CR England Safety Department. Today, I'd like to speak to you about the dangers we face in truck stops, parking lots, and customers' docks. These locations are crowded with little or no rules or speed limits. Everyone there's in a hurry, they've all got their own agenda, so speeds are too high for such a confined space. There's a lot going on, and that creates distractions. It's hard to see everything around you all at once. And if that weren't enough, when you arrive at these locations, you're tired, you've probably been driving all day, and you just want to get some fuel, get some food, or get shut down so you can get some rest. But this is no time to let your guard down. So, to help counteract all the problems we face, let me give you some basic rules. CR England standards to follow that will help keep you safe and out of trouble. Slow down. CR England's speed limit for parking lots is 5 miles an hour. Slow down. Take a direct look. Watch your mirrors. Slow down. Take time to think and make good decisions. Slow down. Give yourself time to react if there's trouble. Slow down so you can shut down and get the rest that you need. So now you know some of the rules. Let's go to a truck stop and put them to the test. And let's see how they work for me. And more importantly, how they can work for you. All right, we're getting close to the truck stop. We're on our exit. I'm gonna come up here to the light and make a left turn, and then we'll go into the little truck stop up ahead. First thing we'll do, pull into the fuel bay, and we'll talk about some CR England standards and rules so that you can enter and exit a fuel bay safely. Okay, now let's go into the fuel bay, and it's busy. So let's choose our spot and slow down and swing wide to put our tandems into the middle of the spot we're going to choose to pull into. And I'm going to pull my tandems forward to put them inside the space I'm going to pull into. Okay, stop before you pull into the fuel bay. Make sure the area is clear and that you don't run over the hose. Now, choose the lowest gear, center yourself into the bay, and slowly pull up and line up with the fuel pump. Okay, when you stop, make sure you're lined up with the pump, but remember, before you get out, set your park brakes and turn off your truck. Oh yeah, and always use 3 points of contact when you're getting in and out of the truck. All right, I pulled into the fuel bay. I made sure the hose was clear. I'm gonna pick up the phone, call in my truck number, my company, and the pump that I'm at. When the fuel pump's turned on, I'm gonna lift the nozzle, insert it into my tank, and start the fueling process. Now, when I'm done fueling, I'll put the nozzle away, and I'm gonna walk around my truck and make sure it's clear, and make sure there's no obstacles I need to be aware of before I actually get in the truck and leave. Okay, we're done fueling. Now we're gonna leave the pump area. Before you move, make sure you look in both mirrors and in front to be sure it's clear. And if you're going to turn, know the reference point that you have to turn around. In this case, it's the pumps. Make sure your tandems line up with a fixed reference before you turn. Or if you're going to pull up and stop, pull out until the tractor clears the fuel area, stop, make sure it's unobstructed, pull out, and make sure your trailer clears the fuel area, and then go in and pay. But don't stay in there too long. Just get your business done and get back out, because remember, somebody else is going to pull in behind you, and we need to move and go get parked before we eat, take a shower, take care of any other business. Let's pull out of the fuel bay. All right, I'm going to start moving forward until my tractor clears the fuel bay. I'm going to stop just briefly, check both sides, make sure it's clear. Pull forward to the midpoint of your trailer and stop and check the fixed reference point. In this case, it's the pumps that we're going to turn around. Make sure and pull forward until your tandems align with the fixed reference point, those pumps. Now I can safely start my turn. All right, now we're gonna go park. I'm gonna look for a pull-through, because that's always the preferred spot I only back if I absolutely have to. I have a choice here. There's a single narrow spot and a wide double spot. I choose the wide double spot, okay? Now, a good pull through starts with a good setup. So we're gonna pull around. I'm gonna set up wide so that I can put my tandems into that spot and get stopped safely. A lot going on in a truck stop. That's why you have to be constantly scan. Look for movement. So I am setting up for that pull through right now. I'm using all the available space. I'm staying wide. I don't want to get too close to these trucks parked here. I want to keep about 4 feet of clearance between these trucks and me to allow for trailer off swing. Okay, there's my spot. I'm about 4 feet away from this guy. Before I start my pull in, I'm going to stop. If the space is narrow, I need at least 73 feet. That's the length of my vehicle to allow for pull through to get my tandems into the space and for trailer swing. And also remember, if you turn sharply, you can actually turn so sharp that you may hit your cab extenders or your air fins on the trailer. So if you lose sight of the tandems, you have to make a choice. Stop, back up, or pull up so that you don't turn so sharp that you hit your cab. So here we go. Pulling forward, I'm in low gear, I'm idling. I'm pulling past the space. I'm lining up my moving reference, the tandems, with the space that I'm pulling into. Now I'm going to start a sharp turn to force my tandems into the spot. Okay, before I commit to pulling into that spot, I have to stop and check my clearances. I've checked my trailer and my air fins, they're clear. I'm checking the clearance on this trailer, I'm clear. There's my spot, it's a double wide, so I can encroach into this space slightly to make sure that my tandems are straight and I have gap on both sides before I complete this pull through. So now I'm going to pull forward. I'm idling, I'm covering the brake. Why? Because I can go slower and I have more control. Okay, my tractor is completely inside the space. I'm looking at my tandems. If I lose sight of those tandems in that spot mirror, what do? You have to stop. Because when you lose sight of the tandems, you may hit. So I've got my tandems in sight. I'm going to keep going. But I'm only going to pull through halfway to my midpoint. Okay, I'm halfway in. Now I need to look down. I see my tandems in the flat mirror. I see the corner of the trailer that's next to me. You have to see that picture, guys, because if you don't see those tandems, you will hit. That's what you have to see on a pull through. You have to have gap or clearance between the trailer next to you and your tandems. If you don't, you will hit. Now I'm going to pull my truck into the space and stop again before I fully commit to this space to make sure that I can see my tandems and I have clearance. Now I'm going to complete my pull through by slowly pulling forward, feathering the clutch, and covering the brake. When you're even with the truck next to you, come to a complete stop. All right, so let's review what we've learned today. Slow down and get into low gear before you do a pull through. Always idle, cover the brakes, expect the unexpected. Set up and choose your spot early. Always choose the widest spot. Have a plan and know where you're going. Use all the space you have to your advantage. Always be aware of trailer swing when you're turning sharply, and remember, you can turn so sharp that you may hit your cab fairing or your air fins. Stop before you commit to pulling into any space. Stop again as the trailer enters the space. Look for header clearance. Stop midway. Recheck your clearance. When you're pulling forward, look back as well. Align the tandems with a fixed reference point before you turn. And don't hit anything but the salad bar. So I hope that I gave you some information that you can use to your advantage. Truck stops are dangerous places, but they can be navigated safely if you just follow CR England's safety standards and guidelines. So I want to thank all you drivers for what you do out there. I know it's a tough job. So until next time, have a safe trip.